This is BBC One.
The 1 o'clock news from the BBC.
Good afternoon, this is BBC One Northern Ireland, and now with Friday's BBC News at 1, here's Jane Hill and Declan Harvey.
Today at 1, Donald Trump says he will appeal after the historic guilty verdicts in his trial for falsifying business records. The former US president tells supporters he didn't get a fair trial. And special treatment for the first hippo born in the UK for 7 years.
In Wales, rail bosses claim timetables will be a thing of the past ahead of a milestone in preparations for the South Wales Metro. And Welsh Conservatives say the Welsh Labour government's performance here shows the party can't be trusted at Westminster.
Hello and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Donald Trump has said he will appeal after becoming the first serving or former US president to be convicted of a crime. He was found guilty last night on all 34 counts of falsifying business records.
They also say that they have launched a missile strike against a US aircraft carrier, the USS Eisenhower, to respond to these attacks. So this is an ongoing conflict.
All right, James, for now, thank you very much. James Landale. And the time is just after 1:15. Our top story this afternoon. Donald Trump says he will appeal after becoming the first serving or former US president to be convicted of a crime. He was found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records. Still to come, scientists have discovered what they believe is the earliest and most distant galaxy ever observed.
And on Reporting Scotland at 1:30, police failings led to incomprehensible suffering for M9 crash victim Lamara Bell, a public inquiry finds. And calls for more money to help people on low incomes who struggle with opening bank accounts or obtaining loans.
Now we turn to the election campaign, and all the party leaders are out and about, just over a week into the campaign for July's vote.
Could even be a bit of winteriness over the tops of the Scottish mountains, but it's still 21 Celsius in southern England. Jane.
Darren, thank you very much. That is the BBC News at 1 for this week. And indeed, that is it from the News at 1 here in London. After more than 37 years, you may know the programme is moving to a new home from Monday. So do join the team in Salford from Monday if you possibly can. From everybody here on the 1 o'clock news team in London, it has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege. So thank you for watching every lunchtime. Right now, here on BBC One, it is time, of course, for the news wherever you are. Enjoy your afternoon. And from the London team, it's goodbye.
Thanks, Jane. Welcome to Wales Today. I'm Lucy Owen. The headlines.
This is BBC One Scotland. Now the news with Sally Nugent and reporting Scotland with Suzanne Allen. It's 1 o'clock.
Today at 1, the Conservatives pledged to clarify the legal definition of a person's sex. The Equalities Minister Kemi Badenoch says this would make it easier to protect women-only spaces. Also on the programme.
3, 2, 1.
Work starts on the Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease just hours after the rugby league hero died in hospital, surrounded by his family. And 80 years on, we hear from one of the oldest surviving veterans of D-Day.
In Northern Ireland, a murder investigation is underway after the death of a woman in her 80s in Bangor. and a warning that cutbacks in the health service could have catastrophic impacts on patients.
Hello and welcome to the BBC News at 1, live from Salford. The Conservative Party is promising to tackle what it calls the confusion over the legal definition of a person's sex if it wins the general election. Well, our social affairs editor Alison Holt is in our London newsroom for us this afternoon. And Alison, this is a complex issue and it really does evoke very strong feelings, doesn't it?
It certainly does, Sally. It's a really contentious area and is at the heart of many of the culture wars which we've had in recent years.
Frank Gardner, thank you. The time is 16 minutes past 1. Our top story this afternoon. The Conservatives pledge to clarify the legal definition of a person's sex. And we will be hearing more about the issues concerning BBC News viewers as we approach the general election with your voice, your vote.
On Reporting Scotland at 1:30, we will bring you the latest from the second week of the general election campaign. And the teenager from Huntly who's carrying Scotland's Euro pennant to Munich by bike after surviving a life-threatening accident.
The BBC has learned that a waste company linked to a £200,000 donation to the First Minister of Wales was under criminal investigation at the time. We have got a full weather forecast in the next half hour, but now it's time for a quick look at the weather. Here's Louise.
Hi there, Sally. Well, the image behind me could have been almost anywhere yesterday, but if I've not put you off, stay watching because I have all the details just before 2 o'clock.
Louise, thank you. Now, if you are a regular BBC viewer, you will know that there is one voice that we really value, and it's yours. You've told us you want to be more involved in how we cover this general election campaign, so we want to hear about the issues which matter to you. We're calling it Your Voice, Your Vote. And we can find out a little bit more now with our UK editor Ed Thomas and our political editor Chris Mason. Afternoon, both of you. So, Ed, tell us what this is and what's it for.
Yeah, your voice, your vote. And the ambition here...
Still to come on today's programme, we will hear more from rugby league legend Kevin Sinfield following the death of his best friend and Leeds Rhinos teammate Rob Burrow from motor neurone disease. Now it's time to join our colleagues with the news where you are.
Thank you, Sally. Hello, I'm Jennifer Jones with the headlines in Wales.
That's it from us. BBC Newsline will be back at 6:30 here on BBC One. For now, it's back to Sally Nugent in Salford.
Now, just one day after the death of the rugby league legend Rob Burrow, aged 41, his family and his former teammate Kevin Sinfield have attended a groundbreaking ceremony for the Motor Neurone Disease Centre bearing his name. Commemorations will take place later this week to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day, when thousands of UK and Allied forces landed on the beaches of northern France to liberate Europe from Nazi occupation. Among them was Percy Chafer from London, and he's been sharing his memories with our reporter, Jane McCubbin.
But there's likely to continue to be a few sharp, blustery downpours, and the feel of the weather, I'm afraid, stays disappointing. Sally.
Louise, thank you. Now, as ever, you can keep up to date with all of today's stories on the BBC News channel and on the BBC News website and app too. That is all from the 1 o'clock news team for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
And that's all this Thursday lunchtime. From me on the 1 o'clock news, good afternoon and goodbye.